Hello, good afternoon, traders. This is Baja Pips. It's currently Monday, August 21st, 2023, 12:56 p.m. Eastern China Time. And today I'm going to be doing my weekly technical breakdown. We get started by looking at the charts, looking at the economic calendar first before I go on to the technicals, just so I can see if there's anything ahead, any high impact news. And there's the BRICS Summit, that's tomorrow. I'm familiar with this, but Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Nothing nothing big in the currencies that I trade, but it could be big later on in life. That might be something to look at if you're trading gold. Um, Other than that, there's some flash manufacturing PMIs on Wednesday. Nothing big this week. Unemployment claims, nothing huge. That's great. So, and then there's a bank holiday next Monday. Okay, so I have a 7-day outlook, and it looks pretty clear for this week. So, if there's anything, central bank meetings or what's the other one? Interest rates, then I would be a little concerned with my swing trades. But it doesn't look like that's happening this week. So, it should be a clear week to trade. So, now let's move on to the technicals. Okay, so I'm on my charts, and as usual, I'm going to be breaking down my technical analysis for this week. So right now, I'm going to just scroll this one on up just a tad bit. All right. So now I'm going to look at the charts. Just want to just highlight a few things. I'm going to start from left to right. I'm going to go over some Forex pairs. I'm going to go over gold and silver. I'm going to go over Bitcoin, and I'm going to go over some stocks. So this might be a 30-minute video. So be prepared to take some notes, and let's go. First pair I have on my list is Euro NZD. I was watching this pair last week, but as you can see, the entirety of the week from the 14th to the 18th, price actually was consolidating. If you check my last week's technical breakdown, you can actually see that in real time that I said that I was not interested in trading this. And this is just a follow-up. You can see that price has not really broken out of that resistance. It hit the highs once, twice, 3 times. And it's currently testing those highs right now of 1.83861. And I would like to see price break on up much stronger, a little bit higher than where it is right now. And then depending on the pullback continuation, we might get a nice continuation northbound. As of right now, it doesn't look like a good trade for me. I don't see any great opportunity. So this pair I'm going to leave alone. It's just going to be in the back burner. I'll check up on it later on throughout the week. But as of right now, Euro NZD, no trade. Euro USD, I trade the 1 minute on, so I'm not going to cover that on the swing trade. That's strictly for day trading. USD Canada. Okay, so we have a potential trend continuation, but we have some conflicts, and so I am a little concerned about this buy. It is clearly bullish. We can see that right now. I'll actually draw a trend line so y'all can see just where the most recent uptrend actually is happening right now. So it's not the biggest uptrend, as you can see, and price is retesting, but it pulled back kind of hard, and I don't really like that. I'm going to show y'all right now where that pullback is currently sitting at around 1.35303. We have a support, and if price breaks this support, more than likely that pullback would be invalidated, and it could still go up. But right now we are kind of stuck in between a little range right now. It's a minor one. It could break out of this range later on in the week, but it's nothing of interest to me right now. 1.35748. I'll be looking for a breakout of that high, and then maybe there's some possible moves northbound, and we can take that on as high as 1.364 in the near future. So that is going to be UCAD. If there is a potential drop later on in the week, we could see a possible reversal back into the range. So what I mean by that is there's some lows nearby. I'm going to highlight that right now so you guys can see. There's some significant lows nearby, right around here, 1.34728. So if we can get a nice top formation, we could have a possible reversal back into the lower end of this monthly range, and we could be testing August lows. So that's something to look up into later on in the near future. So it's nothing that I want to take immediate action on right now. So I'm going to leave that one alone as well. Now we have gold spot. Gold spot, like I said, the BRICS meeting is coming up. And yeah, other than that, it looks like it was a pretty solid downtrend for the most part. And price is currently congesting in a tight range at the lows of the month. So it's sitting at these monthly lows, and I don't really see much acceleration out of this little range that we currently have going on right now. I don't really want to take a trade. I'm neither bearish nor bullish on this right now. It's pretty neutral, and preferably I would like to see the highs of 1912 taken out, possibly even higher or buy. So first and foremost, it's currently testing these June lows, and yeah, honestly, I would need to see monthly highs taken out, preferably around 1915. If I look for some longs, it could bottom out before that and also create a pattern to northbound. But to me, we're in a range. Wouldn't really trust this right now. Looks like it had a completed a run, so might be taking a break. But as of today, there's no trading for me for gold. Silver, see that it is kind of looking like it's accelerating more northbound, but I wouldn't really trust this pair. We do see that on the 17th, we did have a thrust on up to retest the highs on of the 10th, but price did pull back, and it's giving me whipsaw movement. We see that there was a little whipsaw around the 18th, and price is currently moving on back up. Right now, it's not even enough for me to get 2-to-1 to these highs right here, and I am looking at these highs. Let me just highlight it right now. I'm looking at the highs of 123.013 to be taken out before I look for a possible trade. It could go bullish after breaking that high, or it could slow down and we can have a reversal back into this range. As of right now, the range is a little too tight for me to trade. Of course, we could bottom out and we could start reversing, but I need to see the lows. At this point, the lows of 22.554 taken off first, and then we have the lows of this range that we can revisit. So that's going to be around 22.185. That's just my breakdown for silver. So once again, I'm sitting on my hands, but we're looking to deploy capital later on in the week if there's a setup. USDCHF, I broke this down on last week's weekly technical breakdown as well. I did mention that the pair was congested, and as you can see, it is following through with the congestion. It is following through with that congestion. Hasn't really gone anywhere this entire month. You can just see from the 1st of August all the way through now. It's just been in a sideways movement. A lot of whipsaw. So this pair I'm not going to touch. Not interested in trading anything that has a high probability of stopping me out. Looks like price wanted to go to the downside at the beginning of August. I took a loss on that earlier this month. And after that, I kind of just sat on my hands. Hasn't really given me many options to go short. After that initial drop on down, it should have continued on down. But instead, a trailing stop was hit, and I took a small loss on that, but totally fine. After that, you can see that the entirety of the month, we're the third week in the month, and price is still kind of moving sideways. And with that sideways movement, there wasn't much acceleration in either direction. See that it kind of just it was a sell opportunity right around 8th, and that was rejected. At that point, I would box this area off and wait for a breakout and a actual move, and made a false break to lows around the 10th, and reversed back into the range, made a false breakout to the highs as well. Whipsaw in this entire zone again. So this condition is completely off limits. Not gonna touch this for the next week. Maybe if we start to see more activity. But right now, just leave it alone. Euro AUD. See this? Interesting setup because I do not have a current trade on this neither. See that it has some monthly highs at 1.70670. Looks like yearly highs. And also has some lows that were currently trapped in the range. As you can see, price it could be continuing to the upside, but it's also giving me whipsaw movements. So this pair I'm going to sit out. Unfortunately, I'm not interested in that neither. GA, similar activity, made some yearly highs. It's currently kind of whipsawing. There's not enough real movement. And even if you were to buy it, it looks like a stop out would be nearby. So this is congested. I don't want to trade this. DADJPY, interesting pair right here because you do see a possible reversal to the downside. Only issue is this is also whipsawing around, especially after that most recent 4-hour bar. Price should have continued to the downside, but instead we're seeing that it's whipsawing around. The past 12 hours, it's been giving false signs of a bear trap. Basically, it's driving on down, but it's not breaking 106.7 lows, and instead it's bouncing off of that, and it's going above the most recent 4-hour. If I look into the 5-minute, just to get a little bit more detail, we can see that exact price action activity play out on this time frame. So you can see that price looked like it wanted to go down, and multiple times it just kept on stopping out traders that are trying to sell it. So to me, I would not be shorting this. I'd just be sitting on my hands. It's just the condition of the markets. As of right now, I don't know what's going to happen later in the week. And ZDCHF looks like a possible reversal to the upside. First time that I'm actually seeing this, and it just kind of passed by that northbound bar. So we could have a acceleration north right now. I do kind of like this setup. Price was going down, and then we have some range lows. Mark that off so y'all can see. We do have some range lows around 0.5211 but currently those are being tested, and we do have some significant highs above. These highs are going to be around 0.52636. So we could possibly be driving all the way up north. That would be good to see. I'm going to look at the reward to risk on this particular trade right here. If I'm risking 13 pips, probably end up going for at least 26. 14 pips, I'm going for at least 30. When we get 30 pips of the highs, we can. This is a valid setup I may actually take. I would need to drop down to the 5 minutes to really see more detail as to what's happening right now. That's exactly what I'm going to do in real time. Right in front of y'all is drop down to the 5 minute. And just looking at the most recent price action as of today, I don't really care about yesterday's price action. I'm looking at the 5. We could see that we are bottoming out. Looks like there was a little false move north right here. Couldn't really go up that high anyways. Did achieve its target. There was a little reversal downwards, and the sell kind of was rejected. And then we have some buys. It's kind of like, what is it say? It's the most valid setup. This right here, I probably would have waited. There's no good trade until we break out of this zone. Currently experiencing a deeper enough pullback. Looking like a little trend continuation. I'm going to take this trade. I need everything to line up. And right now, got like maybe a 5 pip stop loss, 4.5. I don't really want to take this setup. I need to see more price action occur. So this looks like it might be a fake out to me. And because of that, I'm going to be sitting on my hands. Looks like price could be revisiting this range and actually maybe even could reverse back to the downside. It's just not enough conviction for me. And the wave sizes preceding this entry that I would take, it's not that strong. This last wave size was 4 pips, and my stop loss is around 4 pips, like I just said. Previous wave size was kind of weak. The one before that was like 4 pips. So on average, it's like 4 pips. So the most I'll probably expect to get on out of this trade if I were to look for a buy is 4 pips. And looks like, we could possibly have like a give or take 3 pip stop loss for a 6 pip target. But if the wave sizes are only 4 pips, I don't want to take that trade. I need to see more acceleration coming into the longs. And so therefore I'm going to leave this one alone just because it's kind of it's choppy still. It is an NZD CAD. Oh no, absolutely not. Trash. As soon as I see this, I know. Leave that alone. Bank of America. I'm looking for buys on stocks, and right now it does not look bullish. It looks like it's still bullish overall, but as of the past couple weeks, it's been bearish. It's just experiencing a pullback, but we'll see. Meta, same thing. All stocks currently undergoing a pullback. Longer term uptrend that has had these corrections in the past. Look back in February, it had a similar correction before going on up. It is a little bit deep, so I'm going to take a little bit more caution before taking a trade in that. Volkswagen bearish, but no trade yet. Dutch Bank, nothing. I don't know why I have that pair on my list. Euro JPY, nothing. It's whipsawing around. CJ. CJ looks interesting. Looks like it's a possible trade scenario setup, but gonna have to be careful with this one just because it has a really nice thrust on down. This retest is cool and all, but I need to see it break the lows of 164.041 before considering a sell. If it could break these lows, I'm definitely looking for a possible bear run. This is CHF JPY. It would need to be a 70 pip stop loss, give or take. Most recent wave size preceding this, about 150. So you barely get a 2-to-1 on this. And yeah, nah, I'm gonna leave this one alone because we had some significant lows nearby. I don't think we can actually reach that just yet. We're gonna need to see more price action play out. Right. Finish this list, y'all. I'm not gonna go over everything. Amazon, same stocks, pretty much all going through the same thing. Pullback. I would rather just trade the S&P and Nasdaq, QQQ, just because it's the collaborative of all the stocks. So just see them all at once instead of just doing what I'm doing, wasting time. JPY, same thing. They all pretty much doing the same thing, like the S&P. They all like kind of move similar. The Vita look like a possible bull run. It's a little bit of a wide stop loss, I would say. Gap up on the U.S. Open. I looked possibly look for some longs, but 270 or what? Yeah, I don't really think this is the greatest reward to risk. Maybe this needs to just set up a little bit better. So I might just skip that one as well. Apple. Something this is a pullback, but it is moving more bearish and it's picking up in momentum to the downside. So be careful with that. GJ, nothing for me. GU, oh, absolutely not. Google, nothing. I need to see the highs of 135 taken out. Other than that, it's chopping. See dollar. No buy. Definitely not a buy. Whipsawing around. I wouldn't really consider sell neither. Just because we're in a little bit of a conflict, so I don't really know. So I'm gonna move forward. Got some AUD CAD. This is conflicting as well. Looks like it can go up, but the buys were just recently taken out, and it's whipsawing around. No clear direction on that neither, so I'm gonna leave that one alone. Ford, Meta platforms, nothing. Apple, nothing. You see, the markets are kind of really choppy this whole month. Bitcoin, I wouldn't sell it right away because we're testing the lows of 24,000. And if it doesn't break those lows, we could actually go back on up. A lot of people they're boasting about getting out of Bitcoin and celebrating that they got out at 30K, but don't realize that we're in a range. We've been in a range for quite some time, actually since February. We've been going up, and then we just consolidated. So it could indeed take out the highs of 31,000 or 32,000 and keep going north. Don't listen to those guys online saying that Bitcoin's going to crash because it has a long way down. As you can see, there's a big gap between 24,000 and 19,000, and then there's another gap between 19,000 and 15,000. So even that, so you need a lot of sellers, a lot of selling pressure. And currently, you see that trend line that I drew from January to now. You see that it just kind of breached that trend line. It doesn't mean it's Armageddon. So I wouldn't really consider being scared out of this. Just know that it could possibly retest and revisit 24,000 lows. Don't be scared. Just know that you should be trading Bitcoin. Don't just buy and hold expecting it to go up. Just know that there's points of interest where it's best to get in and points where it's better to stay out. And right now, I'm still on the long side for Bitcoin. I don't really consider a sell right now. There could be a short-term sell from 26,000 to 24. Just be ready for that. Other than that, we have a potential rise back to the upside. And take out 30,000. Could be on the rise to 32,000 and beyond. So just be cautious. You see that there's a long way up. So it's one of those slow builds, but it is what it is. That's crypto. And that's about it, y'all. I have AUD but same with as NZD Oops, my bad. It's kind of going through that little consolidation, no movement, no clear direction. It kind of broke on up as of the 18th, start of the 18th, and then it kind of rejected that buy. So once again, we're in whipsaw conditions. I'm going to sit on my hands and I'll deploy capital later in the week if I see any type of movement. As of right now, I'm not going to force anything. If I don't like the trades, if I don't like the setups, I'm going to just sit on the side. At least y'all got to see my weekly technical breakdown. Not every day is a trading day. I mean, as a day trader, I can trade daily, but as a swing trader, not every day you can find a setup. And sometimes markets really do go into conditions where there can be several days or several weeks of nothing, of no movement or bad movement. And so it's just the condition right now. That's why I advise people to learn about conditions, market conditions. They can change. The context could change. Right now, we're undergoing just a tough condition right now. As you can see, it's only temporary because before this, just gonna give you an example. AUD NZD. This condition right here, it's been chopping up since the 17th, pretty much. Prior to that, we had some decent drops. We had a drop on the 16th, had a little pullback, and we had another drop on the 17th, and that's kind of when it started stalling out because the drops got slower. But prior to that, we had some rises that could have been bought into. First one is right around the 8th. Could have bought that, held that all the way through, maybe got 2-to-1. And there was a lot of congestion, not gonna lie. Kind of got sloppy this month, but prior to this month, you can see that crosshair pulled up again. See that there was some possible sells. We had a sell on the 27th of July. Could have went down for that. You missed that one. There's another sell on the 28th. You missed that one. There was a little fake out. So that's kind of when it got choppy right in the beginning of this month. So August has been kind of a slow month. Prior to that, we were at range bound. We had a bottom. We had a breakout. We had a little pullback. And we had a buy right around here. This is just the 18th of July. Very nice buy, by the way. And then we had profit taken. Wouldn't trade any of this, not at all. We had a congestion, but we definitely had another potential buy right around 20th. And if you had a stop loss of like 30 pips, you could have probably took it on up to 60 for 2 to 1. Um, and we had a continuation of that move. Everything looked pretty solid in July. July was actually a pretty solid trading month for this pair. I'm just highlighting some, you know, historical moves that I would have took. So this is hindsight now. I'm done with the real time trading. So yeah, I can see that in real time. And yeah, it's not every day you're gonna find a trade setup, but June has a few setups. You could probably took a sell on the 30th of June. It took a sell on the 3rd of July. July was a really good month for this pair, by the way. Looks like it was plenty of opportunity to trade it. June, see, June had a nice downtrend. We had June 19th. We had some highs. We had a very nice sell. Then we had a follow through on the 22nd, pretty decent. Then we started chopping up, but there's another potential sell. I would say give or take right around here, the 23rd, if you wanted to take that one down further. Started reversing, so there was nothing much to happen right here. Looks like you would have probably got chopped out on this move on the 28th, but it looks like it immediately proceeded back to the upside. And there was another potential buy on the 29th, but it probably took a 2 to 1 on that one as well. Let's see where that ended up. As a matter of fact, looks like the pair had a nice sharp reversal. Back to the downside right around the 3rd of July. We could have probably took a 2 to 1 right there, like 20 pips or 40. I think that would have barely hit 30, but probably would have gotten out a little sooner. But as you can see, I'm reading price action clearly on the bigger time frame. So when conditions like this does happen, just know that it could happen. Like in the past, we see that this one right here, the 7th of June, all the way through 13th, that was an entire week of chop. And like I said, that's kind of what we're getting right now. There was a potential sell right around the 17th of August that you could have took. If you wanted like a 24 pip stop loss, maybe you could have took it on down. You wouldn't have gotten a 2 to 1 exactly, but it was damn close to a 2 to 1. So that would have been a pretty decent trade. At least it throws your stop loss out. And this is kind of where we're sitting at now. We've been in congestion for about from the 17th to now. So only a few days plus the weekend. So just give it some time. And yeah, I think that we can have some possible moves later on in the week as the market progresses. That's it for my weekly technical breakdown. No trading for me right now. I'll be day trading later. So hopefully, y'all got some insight from this. Under 30 minutes, I achieved my goal. Perfect. Y'all have a great day. Trade safe. Be diligent. Pick the highest quality setups. Peace.